Washington has seen its fair share of inner-city problems throughout the years. Even now, nearly 1 in 5 people in the U.S. Capitol live below the poverty line, and crime and violence are a constant presence in low-income neighborhoods.
But in the middle of it all, one man is helping young people keep their lives on track by teaching them to box in his basement. VOA's Arash Arabasadi spent some time at the basement-turned-gym, and back in September, our own Doug Bernard caught up with Arash amid the speed bags and weight benches. Let's take another look.
One time left, right. Two times not come out.
This is Limelight Boxing Gym. It's a non-profit boxing gym, and the guy who runs it, his name's Tony Simmons. He is a Metro bus driver here in DC, and with his extra time and extra dollars in his pocket, he put together this gym. And they supply neighborhood kids everything from boxing gloves to shoes to entrance fees in competitions, and it's all just to keep kids off the street.
Simmons has some basic ground rules. Boxers must keep a C average in school and can't get into fights outside the ring. But Simmons says it's more than teaching kids the sweet science of boxing today. It's giving them hope for tomorrow.
All the coaches down here work, and most of the time the kids emulate the grown-ups they're around. So we teach school, we teach working.
Because most of these students will have to go pro at something besides boxing.
And these kids gonna go out and get jobs and be law-abiding citizens.
So there's nothing going on right now, but on an evening time or when there's practice, what would actually be happening in this room?
They start in the afternoons when he's done with his shift driving the bus, and it's a couple dozen kids in here sweating. And I mean, when I was making this video, I was sweating how hard they were sweating. I mean, it's unbelievable. And this place doesn't have a whole lot of ventilation to begin with. We're kind of warm standing here. So if you can imagine 20 kids jumping up and down and doing push-ups and hitting bags. And
I can't, actually.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but it's such a cool thing to see.
All hail the beat to the insect. Run and tell the judge, even tell it to the DS.
Simmons says the few hours spent in the gym each day keep these kids off of the streets.
More than anything, by the time they leave out of the gym, they be so tired they just want to go home and do their homework and go to sleep.
What did Tony tell you about why he does this?
He says for him, it's all about giving back to the community. He grew up in DC, and he had the good fortune of having both of his parents. And he says most of these kids don't. And in an instance where you don't have your whole family, he and the coaches, and it's his family who's helping him coach, they really kind of step in and they provide the added role of another family member. And he says that, it takes a village, and clearly this village is coming together.
So you're used to gyms, believe it or not. I used to be used to gyms. Look, they're smelly, they're uncomfortable, you spend most of your time in discomfort. So why do the kids come here? Why do they pack themselves in here and put themselves through it every week?
As far as I could see, and the one kid that I talked to was this kid Malik Jackson, who is now on the U.S. national boxing team. And that's no small feat. And in fact, Tony Simmons was recently invited to come be a coach for the U.S. national team. When you have a kid who, by all accounts, when he started was terrible. He lost 9, 10 straight fights, but he stuck with it. And now he's become the elite of the elite. And so it's a motivating thing that these kids are like, hey, I know this kid. He's pretty good.
Right.
What if I could be pretty good too? What if this is something I can excel at?
But yeah, I get a lot of respect from the kids because I guess they look up to me and respect what I do. I've been putting in the work for 10 years and they see that.
Malik Jackson started boxing at Limelight when he was just 9 years old.
I used to get picked on a lot because of my size.
So he'd get into fights.
I kept getting suspended, so I needed to calm myself down and just came to the gym.
Back in my hometown, Detroit, there was the Kronk Gym. Again, it was in a basement, it was in the middle of nowhere on a nondescript street, and yet they produced some amazing fighters, like, Tommy Hearns, just to name one.
Sure.
What is it about boxing gyms, do you think? I mean, do they have to be kind of gritty and dirty and nasty? What is that?
Yeah, I think it was, what was it? It was maybe Rocky III, where he was having too much money and too much success. And when you get away from the basics, when you get away from the things that made you hungry, that made you want to excel. And I feel like a place like this, even when I was doing my martial arts back when I was younger, it was not at a fancy, results type gym. It was at some sweaty, dingy chalk and, disgusting, filthy mats, but you need that. you need that motivator that it's like, man, I don't want to do this for the rest of my life. I don't want to be in here the rest of my life. I want to go out there, and I can do that by putting in the work in here.